today with the news. We have a lot of things going on, especially in the stock market. Um, Sorry for the video not posting in a while, but today I couldn't really resist because, as you know, there's a lot of politics going on, and especially in the stock market world. And I would like to get some information across. So today we'll be going over the tariff. And what is a tariff? A tariff is a duty tax imposed by the government of a country or customer, territory, or by a supernatural union on the goods, inputs, especially outputs of goods. Besides being a source of revenue, inputs duties can also be a form of regulations, foreign trade, and policy that burn foreign products to encourage, safeguard domestic industry. Protective tariffs are among the most widely instruments of protectionism among the inputs and outputs and among the most non-tariff barriers. So what does that mean? So basically, we've been taxing. We've been doing trade for a long time, and basically what that means is like it takes a while for things to get across the water or back and forth, right? So, you know, you kind of want to like give extra money towards that for someone bringing in the trade and someone not bringing in the trade, or inputs and outputs, right? So basically, also what that means is everything kind of like costs money. So you gotta kind of like thank the other person, for the trade. But if not, if you're just taxing like the trade on a person who really does the exputs or outputs, it can like damage things or cause the other person to, not kind of like want to do it. But today we'll be going over a few examples of those a tariff, so you guys can understand what's going on. So let's go to this little. We'll be going over two examples of that. We'll be going over Apple and Walt Disney. So let's do the Apple real quick. And also not to say that the stock market won't, be balanced or won't come back. But we'll just definitely see how it goes. So as you can see right here, the line, you always want to see like a straight line that is above it right here during the middle. You want to keep it positive, So right now it's not looking too well. An example of it is wires or what have you, different reasons why it may take so long to get across. But you want to keep it, you want to keep it good, good relationships. And as you can see also, there's still going to be a major dip, right here. There's a major dip. It could take some time to come back or to bounce back, but for right now, I don't know. Even with this middle line right here, you see, it's still a major dip. But you see what's going on, like, so when you tax something that's already taxed, it makes it hard to like, figure out what's going on. The money gotta come from somewhere. So when you keep looking at it, right, all this is it's not really it's not really it's not really too healthy right now, because you want to keep things above this line in a positive light, and that positive light is green. So, like I said earlier, 6 months from now, And it's all still like a prediction. You know, you never really know. But at the same time, you know, with the stuff that's going on, you just really don't know. And I believe, like, these are what the things people are talking about, right? So, as you can see, it's still not really where you want it to be right now. Not sure exactly why, but but if things do work out, in which we do hope so. Well, everybody does. Within a year or so, that line that I told you about earlier, it should be popping up right about over here. That's no shake, and it's not fake, but we'll see. Just so you guys can understand what's going on. And if the plan works out, you know, again, it could fix itself, but these are all just like predictions, you know. The future, as you know, but 5 years from now, Apple, and it's still like 188, and the sell price will go down, but during these times, you want to figure out something that is um, that will work out during these type of times right now, and no one can predict the future. But if you're looking for like short term, again, these are just like examples of what a tariff is, and it could work out later, maybe not, but you know, yeah. So that was one example. We're gonna look at the other one, and that one, like I said, was gonna be Walt Disney. Let me go back a little bit because we're looking at today's and examples of like who's gonna like there's wires involved, power cords. It's not just like we all got it. I mean, we got it, but who got it right now? We're trying to figure it out. So again, somebody's gonna have to eat that. Somebody got to eat that real tough. This is for like next week. All predictions, but we never know. But again, this middle line you want to see green, but if it's not green, it's really no profit. And what we got going on as far as like the deals, everybody can't input, everybody can't output. So we got deals that's been going on for a long time. And if it's been kind of like touched, it's not good. And so 3 months from now, it's still gonna be, pretty rough right now. But we'll see. These are just some of the examples of like what tariffs could mean, um, where it could affect. And for right now, different power plugs. But like this is all just like information from like different they got like updates on your cell phones, the stock app that they have. So it's really good to look at, They have a year prediction. Now you see all this, you want it to come up over this middle line right here. But for right now, it's kind of not. So we'll go to the 2 years. But it could change. All this stuff could change. All this stuff could change, but we'll see how everything works out. You see, we'll see how everything works out. And then for the 10 years, Walt Disney. And it's only going for $83.53, which is, not too bad. But again, within some time, we'll see how everything turns out. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this video gave you some information. what's going on in the stock market. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.